Lots of headlines like this from from Huffington Post. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe performs wildly racist set at Trump rally in New York City. Hinchcliffe made a series of vile comments about Latinos, Jews, and black people during Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden. Tons of other headlines like that.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Here we have Matt Walsh, and he's going to go over the controversy about Tony Hinchcliffe and the joke that he told at Madison Square Garden at Trump's rally. Sorry to me, I just cannot talk right now. Anyway, so he's going to go over that. He's going to go over a few other things, and he's going to basically say, yeah, this is basically the left just running its mouth because that's pretty much all they have. So, like I said, guys, like, share, subscribe. Give me those subscriptions, please. It's the best way to get this stuff out here. And that way I won't eat my kids' Halloween candy because, you know, I'm an anxious eater. So, anyway, let's go on with this.
And then Trump's big weekend continued. On Sunday, he packed out Madison Square Garden in New York City. A huge rally. Big-time A-listers were there in attendance and speaking. Elon Musk was there again, Tucker Carlson. And Trump gave a good speech. But I want to focus on one of the warm-up acts that's getting a lot of the attention. The comedian Tony Hinchcliffe of Kill Tony fame was invited and delivered basically a stand-up set. Well, not basically. I mean, he delivered a stand-up set earlier in the night before Trump came out. And it was shockingly funny, I have to say. And I say shockingly not because I didn't think Hinchcliffe was funny. He's a great comedian. It's shocking only because it's a political rally. And when's the last time a comedian was allowed to be actually funny at a political rally? I don't think it's ever happened before. It's unheard of. I mean, these days at least. But Hinchcliffe let loose, and it led to a whole lot of outrage. His jokes were trending last night. Tons of headlines about them. Kamala's team tweeting frantically. The left is very upset, very offended. Lots of headlines like this from Huffington Post. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe performs wildly racist set at Trump rally in New York City. Hinchcliffe made a series of vile comments about Latinos, Jews, and black people during Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden. Tons of other headlines like that. And this includes also, predictably, some conservatives who are also expressing their disappointment and saying this was not appropriate. He shouldn't have made these jokes. This is really going to hurt Trump. So let's go through some of. They're basically. It seems like there were three jokes basically that were apparently the most offensive to people, and that are getting a lot of the attention. First, there was this one about Puerto Rico. Let's listen.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
I don't think if anybody knows this or not, but the Biden-Harris administration has been using Puerto Rico as its own little dumping ground for the past 3 years. You might want to look that up. That's what he's actually referring to. He's not referring to the people of Puerto Rico.
Terribly offensive, we're told. The media is very, very angry about it. The same media that calls all white conservatives Nazis, the same media that has repeatedly claimed that this very rally was a Nazi rally, which means all the audience members who are also Nazis, that media is deeply offended, deeply offended, very troubled by this joke. This is, how could you say something so disparaging about an entire group of people? At least that group of people. But, this other group, white conservatives, you can, keep something in mind. When you label all these people Nazis, as the media constantly does, it's not just an insult. Like, what you're saying is that they don't deserve to live. You're
seriously, go on TikTok and then put in "kill all white people" and see how many responses you get, and then put in "kill all black people" and see what happens.
You're justifying the mass eradication of millions of people. And that's what they're saying. But yet they're offended by this, relatively tame joke. There was also this joke that Hinchcliffe told about his black friend. This is another very offensive one, allegedly. Here it is.
Heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys.
And then finally, well, there was one more horrifically offensive one. Oh yeah, there was this one where he makes a joke about both Jews and Arabs. Both get a joke, and we're supposed to cry about this too. Here it is.
Unbelievable what's happening right now. It is incredible. Ukraine versus Russia, Israel, it's like bad soccer games. Who even cares? What are we doing? Why is our money involved in these wars? When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking.
So he made fun of Puerto Ricans, black people, Jews, and Arabs.
I can tell you right now, and I don't mind admitting it, okay, but I can come up with a half a dozen worse jokes about every one of those ethnic types just off the top of my head. I mean, seriously, that's those are tame. I'm sorry, guys. Those are really tame, okay?
You know, that's a pretty equal opportunity offender. Were they offensive jokes? I mean, yeah, if you're a whiny little baby, they're offensive to you. If those jokes are offensive to you, then you're just a whiny, pathetic, ridiculous, sad sack of a human being. If it was actually offensive, okay, not like you're pretending to be, but if you heard any of those jokes and were actually hurt by them, then you're just a ridiculous person, and your opinion doesn't matter. Which of course describes the media, which is why they've been screeching about this, and Kamala's campaign has been screeching about it. As I said, even some conservatives are saying this is, you know, this was not, this was, it was too far. This was too far. Look, first of all, if you're on the right, we should all understand by now this general rule that when the left is upset about something and they're, you know, getting the pitchfork mob together, you never join it, ever. Like, it's just, I don't care if you agree with them, you still don't join it. You never join the left-wing pitchfork mob. Never. You never legitimize it under any circumstance. Especially not this, when they're jokes that we're talking about. And here's the thing, normal people are not offended. Normal people of all races and ethnicities are not offended. Why? Because...
normal people know what a joke is. That's pretty much what's going on. Normal people know what a joke is. And that's what we're reacting to right now. We're just reacting to jokes.
These are the kinds of jokes that normal people tell. It's like in a normal environment. If somebody made any of those comments, you know, in your living room or something, nobody would start crying about it. Nobody would. And that's always been the not so secret of Trump's political success, is that he says something. I mean, he didn't say this, but it was at his rally. But generally, he says something, the media cries about it, and then everyone else thinks, well, yeah, but that's how I talk. That's how my friends talk. Why would I be offended by that? And I also think that that's maybe the deeper strategy here. I'm not one, as you know, to get into the 4D chess stuff with Trump, but I do think there's a reason why they invited a comedian to this event, and they invited one who's known for telling jokes like this. This is not, like, anyone who's a fan of this guy is not surprised by it. Like, these are the kinds of jokes that he tells. And they invited this particular comedian. And the reason, I think, is that, and this is not even really 4D chess. This is just this is like pretty basic strategy. The reason is that they knew he would tell some edgy jokes, and they knew the media and the Dems would not be able to help themselves, And they would spend the next, 3 to 5 days crying about it. So Trump is goading the Dems into spending their final week on the campaign trail crying about jokes, that's exactly the kind of school marmish nonsense that killed them in 2016. And Trump is harnessing that energy again. I think it's pretty smart, actually. If they want to spend their time, you got 1 week left, and you want to spend your time crying about a joke, then I think Trump's more than happy to allow them to do that. Go ahead. It's kind of just like dangling that bait out there. Go ahead and take it. And they can't help themselves. So I think that's, I don't think it hurts Trump at all, ultimately.
So there you have it, folks. That's Matt Walsh's take on it, and that's pretty much my take on it as well. This is just... If this is like the 5D chess thing that they're always accusing Trump of, then this is a beautiful move, because they're doing absolutely nothing but wailing about this, and Kamala Harris is forced to comment on it, and she's not getting her message across. And that's hurting her. That's hurting her a lot. So, guys, do me a favor. Comment on this. Send me in. What do you think? Do you think that this is a 5 dice Trump move? Do you think this is something that just happened, and maybe they just pushed the boundaries for a little bit just to get people talking? Tell me what you think, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Later. Did I just say that twice?